Hello, my name is Scotty Shoemaker. I perform under the stage name Milo Scott, and today this is a Q&A session for Bagel Bite Fright Night, which is an awesome and hilarious film at the Salute Your Shorts Film Festival. And I want to give a little disclaimer that this Q&A is meant to be watched after you watch the film, and so this is a spoiler alert that you should watch the film before watching this, just in case. So I have the wonderful filmmakers and actors with me today, and I'd like to go around and they can introduce themselves and say their name and their position on the film. And let's start with Lexi.
Okay, hi. I'm Lexi Pappas, and I am one of the writers, producers, stars of Bagel Bite Fright Night.
Awesome. And everybody loves the favorite ice cream flavor, so let's do that too.
Favorite ice cream flavor, probably like a double chocolate situation, like chocolate fudge brownie, something like that. Yeah, I double down.
Jenny's has this amazing, I'm totally getting sidetracked already, vegan, it has the vegan, it's called Texas Sheet Cake. It's like a vegan double chocolate ice cream at Jenny's in, where is it? I think it's in Los Feliz, and it's incredible. Right.
Yeah, there's a Jenny's too, actually right by me here in Hollywood. And so Cole's actually my boyfriend. He's from Ohio. He's obsessed with Jenny's.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. A lot of ice cream talk around here. Yeah.
Yes, it's amazing. I love that. Okay. Tessa.
Hi, I'm Tessa Evelyn, and I was the director.
Awesome. And do you want to do your ice cream flavor too? Yeah, I don't know.
Mint chocolate chip.
Nice. Awesome.
Always and forever.
So good. So good. And Lauren.
I am Lauren Savigny. I also wrote, produced, and starred in Bagel Bite Fright Night. And I would say before I got introduced to Afters ice cream, I was a mint chocolate chip gal, but then the blue cookie monster ice cream at Afters, there's a couple different locations in LA. It is literally the best thing in the world.
Wait, where's Afters? I've never been there.
There's one in Pasadena. They just opened one up in South LA somewhere. And then there's one in Highland Park as well. And it's it's incredible. They do donut sandwiches, but also just the ice cream flavors are very unique and generally turn your tongue different colors. And it's a real treat.
That's amazing. I not not to get sidetracked, but what is the blue cookie monster or whatever? What flavor is that?
Cookie, like a cookie batter almost. It's got a cakiness to it. Not pretty sweet, but then they've got whole chunks of Oreos and famous.
But it's not actually blueberry or anything.
No, it's not blueberry. It's just bright blue ice cream that tastes like home baked cookies. It's delicious.
I've never tried it, but I feel like looking at the photos, you get a really good sense of what it would taste like.
Really? Even though it's bright blue? Okay.
Because it's bright blue.
Oh, because that sounds so good.
I'm intrigued.
It's like that color. Literally.
It's basically your backdrop. Yeah. I used to love the Cold Stone ice cream cake batter ice cream or whatever when I was a kid. So I think I'd be into this. Yeah. All right. Now I know I can do that in quarantine. I'm going to drive over there. Okay. Then I'm going to ask some questions, and I'm not going to call on anyone directly. You guys can just talk if you want to. Hopefully that'll work on Zoom. And, I think we'll just start out by you guys just sort of telling the story of how this film came together, the story of how it was made and what the impetus was for the whole thing. How did you meet? All of that.
I'm gonna make Lexi do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So Lauren and I met in school. We were studying theater in the same program, and then
where was that?
Oh, it was at USC. We studied acting.
Nice.
And then fell deeply in platonic love, and eventually we lived together for several years after school. And during that time, we made 2 full seasons of this comedy web series called Bite Sized. And so that for me is always kind of that was our film school, and where we started making stuff together. And then I met Tessa in an acting class a few years later. We fell deeply in platonic love. And I just feel really lucky to have her on my side because, it was just one of those connections where it was we understand each other's minds. And so we've gone on to make several short films together. And this was just kind of my literal dream come true, to have all 3 of us on the same team with Cole, who is our DP, and my boyfriend, a different kind of love.
That's amazing. I mean, who knows? But like, I was gonna say, you could tell in the film that you guys are like really good friends, or like really comfortable, used to working with each other, because the chemistry obviously between the actors is so great, and it seemed like everything just like flowed and was really fun. I have to ask, is there any connection between, was it Bite Sized? Is that the name of the, and then this, because they both have bite in the title, or is that just a coincidence?
Definitely a coincidence. And I remember like really going back and forth on the phone with you guys for like an hour trying to figure out what a good title would be. But the reason that it was a prompt, the reason we made this, and I don't know if Salute Your Shorts is going to love this, but it was in response to Dan Savage's request for submissions for his new festival called SPLIFF Fest, which is by for stoners. So Lexi and I got together and smoked a lot of weed one night. We had about a month to pull it off, and we just like wrote this thing and shot it all. I think it was like in about 6 weeks, got it done.
Well, I mean, it was like, it was in the can and then like finished. Like we were completed with post all in the window of about 6 weeks from beginning to end.
Whoa, that's amazing.
We got selected for that too. So that made us feel good. And that's why we kept going on the film festival circuit. But.
Oh, that's awesome. No, and I think that's great. I mean, whatever. It's like prompts are great. Wherever creativity comes from is awesome. And that just sounds like a really fun process. All in all, obviously. That's incredible. Well, then maybe the next question, I guess I'll ask Tessa as director, is like, one thing that I loved so much about this film was there's just so much attention to detail that I saw in the film, from the color is super colorful. There's all these like props that were so interesting. And I'm just like so curious about where the props came from. And it just seemed like it had a really strong creative vision, including the music, which was clearly like original music to fit with it all. And so, yeah, I mean, I just wrote down some of the props that as I was watching. There's like this ridiculous toucan phone. There's like this wiener dog like toy with with things like sticking out of it. There's there's like a Statue of Liberty on the window when she like knocks, when she has like the thing of meat. Anyways, it's all like super interesting and colorful and wonderful. And I was just wondering if you could speak to that, where that all came from.
So I mean, like, this is very much the brainchild of Lauren and Lexi. But I think as far as like props and kind of the absurdity of it, when I got the script, I remember sitting down with Lexi and saying like, I love you, but like, she cannot take a bite of like the raw meat. Like, it's weird, like we can't do that, Lexi. And she's like, but please. And I was like, no, like everything else can stay, but like, she can't do that. And,
I guess if it's beef, you'd be safe, right? If it's chicken, that's no good.
Chicken. No, but there's definitely like a quality of this kind of like absurdity that I think that like Lexi and Lauren like really wrote into the script. I think and they can talk about that in a second too.
Yeah, we'll pass it off to them after.
Yeah, but I think as far as like where kind of like I kind of came into it was trying to make sure that the absurdity of everything that was happening, the wiener dog, the Statue of Liberty, that it all felt purposeful. Like, we really wanted to make sure that like it flowed and it moved, and it wasn't just like crazy for being crazy. It was like creating a world that these two girls lived in that was like a little off. And so we had to like hint at it with kind of like these like odd moments and like strange things, but not so much that like it was going to take you out of it to where you're like, what are we watching? Like, we really had to find like a happy medium in it.
I thought you did that super effectively. Like, I didn't think that it detracted from the plot or the rest of the film at all. I thought it actually just made it like way more interesting, because you didn't sort of like sit on any one of those details and for a long time. It was just like part of their world. So I think you pulled that off spectacularly.
Yeah. And I mean, and that was definitely like in the script, and then a little bit like on the day too. I think there was just kind of like our location was like incredible. Like, Lauren took care of all of that. But yeah, there's lots of like little things in the house that we were like, can we make this interesting? Like, can we make this look cool?
right? Like some things were just lying around. Most of them were gifts that Lexi gave me or that she had, like her toucan phone.
So
But some of it,
was this in your house?
it was my house, and I randomly have that Statue of Liberty decal on the window, just like
their landlords put it there. That wasn't Lauren's style choice. That just came with the apartment.
Seriously? What?
Yeah.
Why?
We can't take it down, so we had to figure out a way to make this work.
That's so funny. I only noticed it on the second pass, believe it or not. Like I mean, it's like so obviously there, and you're like so obviously doing the motion, but I was just sort of like, what is happening the first pass, and then the second pass was like, that's so weird.
And I think a lot of it was kind of improvised. Like it was just like, what is around the house that's strange that can be used? Like the wiener dog appetizer holder that Lexi.
That was written in because Curtis, who was our third actor, when he showed up on set, he saw it and he was like, oh wow, this really is it's a cocktail weenie server in the shape of a wiener dog.
Yeah,
it's from like the 50s or the 60s, and it was this weird Christmas gift that I gave to Lauren one year when we were no longer roommates. I was like, for your new home. And so
one would need.
When he laid eyes upon it, he was like, wow. I was having a hard time picturing this from the script, but.
And was that just me, or was there like an actual like meat little wiener on it?
Yeah, several, yeah.
Oh, so you that was part of it. You just like cooked like a little. Okay.
A little snack lying around.
An appetizer for those bagel bites.
Yeah, of course. Why not? So I guess this brings me to the question of like what was written in the script and what was improvised. Were any of the lines improvised, or were some of the props were, some of them weren't?
I think we stuck to the script in terms of dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the Drew Barrymore was written in, but I think Lauren, you did improvise a little bit. Oh no, Lexi, you improvised. Yeah, you both. Maybe you both were for that whole couch scene.
Literally in one part. Yeah. So it was pretty much written.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a line that I think we maybe had to cut out. Well, somebody said something like that would just like make me laugh so hard. It was something about like that you share the same shoe size as Drew Barrymore. Is that you, Lexi?
I mean, at this point, we had smoked a lot of weed.
Oh yeah, that too.
Of the movies, the evening is a little bit blurry.
While you were filming as well?
Not me. Lexi definitely a little bit.
That scene, the montage scene.
You can hold your weed better than me, girl.
That would only work for me if I did like the tiniest little bit. Like if I took like
cloudy in that room.
Our camera AC, I remember we had like took a break right after that, and we were all like kind of having like lunch, dinner, and she and I kind of looked at each other, and I was like, she was like, I think I need to step outside. And then I was like, oh no, like her entire crew, like what are we gonna do? Like I had to like start making, like Cole wanted to like set up the next shot, and I was like trying to like tell him like what we needed to do, and I was like, oh no, I got secondhand high, like this is like what they warn you in Dare, like this is happening in real life.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's wild. Okay. I guess we have to talk about so if this was a horror film, the monsters in the house would be Louis C.K., Brett Kavanaugh, and Kevin Spacey. And my question from this is like, how did you decide on those three particular celebrities to troll? And if troll isn't the right word, like what was the message you were trying to convey by having those three figures in the film?
Man, I think that we had a couple different ideas for this when we started, and then it just ended up being like, they're going to be stalked by someone, they're going to be spooked out. We're kind of 90s slasher spoofing. This is really what we were going for. So what would be the funniest option? It's not just going to be a random dude, it's going to be the real villains. And in spring of 2019, like we were really fully in the Me Too, or possibly at the end of it, because the Kavanaugh trial had happened, I think earlier that year. I don't think it was 2018, but it was
the end of
2018, but it was very much top of mind. And you know, who better to be the villains than a bunch of white guy douchebags? What are you gonna do?
And so when you wrote the script, did you just write in that you had these celebrities? Did you come up with the idea of having them like cutouts in the script, or were you just like, how are we gonna get a Brett Kavanaugh, and how are we gonna get a, like, how did that happen?
Worry about it. We were like, charge forth.
Yeah, so you wrote it in, you were like, oh, it's Louis C.K. pops out, and you're like, how are we gonna do this? And you're like, I don't know, we'll just wing it.
Yeah, it kind of worked.
It totally worked.
Yet. But Louis C.K. is Lauren in a bathrobe stuffed with a bunch of t-shirts, because at this point it was like we had lost about half of our crew because we were crawling into the early hours of the morning, and we were like, it's gotta be Lauren. So she pulled up and popped in that bathtub. Oh, it makes me giggle every time.
Oh my gosh, the stuffed shirts is what's getting me right now. Like,
Yeah, stuffed bathrobe. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I figured it was somebody, it was one of you guys or somebody on set or whatever. How big was the crew, just out of curiosity?
You're looking at it.
Yeah.
It was us, Cole, and then Daniel, who was on sound. And
The
then
sound guy, cinematographer, director, and then the actors.
Yes. And then our actors. Earlier in the evening, Tessa's sister Mallory was helping us with art department. We had another amazing woman helping as like a camera assist. And then, as you know, the few extra hands we had on set needed to be getting home. It kind of really, it turned into, you know, Tessa and Cole, kind of a two-man band there.
And our sound guy, who was a champ, who just kept
Daniel hired.
How long was shooting?
oh, shit.
It took us a full 12 hours.
Oh, but it was just one day.
Yeah, we did it
Or
all
one
in
night.
one evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
We
like
started at
an
4.
all-nighter kind of thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done
Like
that before.
roommates who managed to stay asleep. We apparently didn't wake them up.
Were
My
you
roommates
kidding
were-
me? There was a sleeping roommate in
Yeah.
that house the whole time? Dude,
Two.
and they didn't wake up? How's that even possible? You definitely screamed really loud multiple times.
Yeah.
We did it scheduled that like one shot. We were like, we'll do that earlier in the evening so that no one calls the cops. And then
Fair enough.
we'll go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that when you wanted to bite the meat? Was it when you screamed, or was it just at another random time?
I forgot when you were going to do that.
I don't remember when it was going to take place. I just knew it wasn't happening.
So I can't tell him.
That's hilarious. Wait. Okay. Speaking of the three guys, we didn't even talk. I was mentioning details earlier, and I mentioned the music, and we didn't even talk about the music yet, because the original song that is written for this references those three specific characters in the song, which is amazing. So somebody talk about the music.
Lauren.
Yeah, that is me. I am a bedroom rapper. I do enjoy spitting some bars. I've gotten better throughout the years, but still a white girl. But I don't, I thought it would be kind of funny. I don't remember, Tessa, you might remember this, if the verses were in the working script that was sent to you the first time, or if I like made that up later.
No, they weren't in the working script. I knew that there was going to be, we had a song that played, but it wasn't the whole song. We only got to hear like a piece of it when we were shooting the montage part.
Lexi bounced on and did some ad libs for the song, and then so the song I knew that I was going to write a rap for this, and then the score randomly was me as well, just kind of messing around in Logic for the first time, doing that kind of stuff. So that
Like horror movie, like
Oh, so you wrote the whole score as well.
I did.
Nice. And this all, like, obviously the lyrics and everything came after the script. It wasn't like the song came first or anything.
No, the script definitely first, and then it was like, let's make a song.
That's amazing. Do you have like a SoundCloud? Do you have like a Spotify or anything?
That'd be cool if I had a Spotify. Way cool. No, I have a SoundCloud. I recently wrote a rap about being sexually frustrated in the time of COVID.
Yeah. Nice.
And my rap name is Purple Kale, Purplkael. But I don't even know if I'm going by that anymore. I'm just me. I'm just Lauren Savigny. Still trying to be a rapper till the day I die.
Either way, it's amazing. All right, great. So we can look that up. We will look that up. Well, that's awesome. So I guess I was going to start wrapping up unless you guys have anything else you particularly want to talk about, but I was going to move on just to ask you guys, we can go around and you can talk about what you're working on now, how you're surviving, being creative during COVID, what's next, and then you can end on like how we can follow and continue to follow your career and all of that. Does that sound good, or is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
All the little tidbits that we had texted about today, being like, what again?
Awesome. Cool. All right. Well, we'll go the same way we did before. So, Lexi, why don't you start?
So I am sheltering in place in LA, doing just fine, you know, staying inside, wear your mask. And yeah, I mean, creativity obviously is like, it looks so different. You know, it's harder now to just get together with your friends and make something in 6 weeks. But just trying to find a little bit of a routine in terms of like a writing practice that's been helping. And then Tessa and I are working on a series right now. We have a pilot that's written, and it's a horror dark comedy series that takes place in the swamp in small town Florida. And that's been really, really invigorating. That's such like a pleasure to work on, and that's kind of my like happy place these days. And we're getting ready to do a reading for it, so that's definitely the most exciting thing on my horizon.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, writing is a good thing to do right now. So where can we follow your career? Or if, I don't know, is the reading going to be public, or is it?
So not yet. Our hope is to eventually sell it. So eventually, my hope is that it's very public. But for now, you can find the shorts that Tessa and I have made together, and some of my other work at my website, which is lexipappas.com.
Perfect. Love it. Awesome. Tessa.
Yeah, so Lexi and I are finishing up our pilot, which is, like she said, I mean, I feel like just in the last like 4 months, I go through like bursts where I'm like, everything is amazing. Like this time is like so great. Like I've got so much free time to get so many things done. And then I start on them and that probably lasts like a week. And then I'm just like, the world is crazy. So yeah, it's nice to have a writing partner for sure. Someone that I can like continue to pass like things back and forth to. And like, that's been nice. I thought in like June that we would kind of be like finishing up COVID. I don't know why, but I was like offered a few music videos to direct. I don't know if that's gonna, everything's just kind of like in the air right now as far as that. Yeah, but I mean, as far as like just our stuff, yeah, this has been like, Salute Your Shorts has been like reinvigorating. So thank you so much.
Oh, awesome.
My website is tessa-evelyn.com, and that's where like you can see all of my work, and I think there's like links to some of the stuff Lexi and I've done and some of my own stuff too.
Great. Awesome. And Lauren?
Yeah, for me, writing has been awesome. I was in Kentucky, where I'm from, for like a month, and I just kind of held up at my parents' lake house and wrote a short there. And I'm trying to write a short that maybe I could guerrilla shoot in the neighborhood this fall. But generally, also just enjoying the time to write and create and rap a little bit. And most of my stuff is vimeo.com, Lauren Savigny. And yeah, just thank you guys for having us be a part of this. It's been really kind of fun to chase the festivals and be on people's platforms and share the love that way. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much for being part of the festival. We're really happy to have you guys and show the film.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
It's good to talk to you. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Bye.